Hey everybody, this is Alan Fine. I'm here with David Griffiths, who's the event director for the International Golf Travel Market, the IGTM as we call it. It will take place October 14th in Lisbon, and a record number of North American buyers are going to attend, and we're going to find out why here on Insider Travel Report. David, thank you for talking to us.
No problem at all. Good to be here. Thank you for having me.
So, for the uninitiated, what is the International Golf Travel Market?
IGTM, International Golf Travel Market, really is the biggest global golf tourism event that brings together suppliers. So we call them exhibitors. So they'd be kind of golf courses, hotels, resorts, tourism boards, DMCs, a number of people that we're looking to try and sell their product, as in for golf tourism purposes. We bring them together in the same room at the same time with around 350 of the travel advisors, tour operators, travel agencies from all over the world. So the people that are booking these golf holidays. We put the two of those together in a room for a series of meetings, and it's just a kind of a who's who of the global golf tourism industry, all coming together in the same place at the same time for the same common goal.
And so, what are the stats and the growth? I mean, this event is how old now?
It's 25 years old now.
Holy,
1998 was the first time it was
I really didn't know. That's
yeah.
great. And how's it been growing? And like in the last few years, and what are the numbers this year of buyers versus sellers, countries, and media?
Yeah, so we have a really strong core group of people that like to attend every year, but we're always looking to try and to add to that. So, roughly speaking, it's somewhere between 45 countries are represented through our buyers and our sellers. The show is now growing. We'll have about 400 exhibitors to about 350 buyers, as it were, and about 400 exhibitors. So we like to try as much as we can to keep that as a one-to-one. But I mean, that effectively that helps with the appointment making process, which is very much in its core of IGTM. It's about appointment making and it's about pre-scheduled appointments. So it's more about having a schedule of 20-minute appointments back to back that you know exactly who you're going to meet from the minute you walk on site. So in order to do that, it's best to try and keep it as close to a one-to-one match as possible. But of course, we want to make sure that it's only the right people, the most relevant people are there. And therefore, for our buyers, for example, they're all vetted, they're all registered and go through a process, I suppose, to make sure that they are the right people for that they bring the value to our show effectively. And that's exactly what people want to make sure it happens.
Okay, and now, why do you think you've got this record number of buyers coming? Does it have something to do with the popularity of golf? And is it North America or is it global? What are you seeing?
So we're seeing a growth in the North American market, and I think that's largely driven by a lot of the feedback we gathered. So we've known it's been big anyway. We've known it's been a big market. It's obviously the biggest global golf outbound tourism market in the world. We have the show in Europe every year, so we know that there's a challenge there, I guess, to get people to come from overseas to come to Europe. But I mean, we've picked a city like Lisbon because of how connected it is and how well it's connected. We've worked really hard, obviously, post pandemic now, since then, in the last 2 years, to try and reach out to as many of the agencies as we can to put across what we think IGTM can bring to them. IGTM falls within Reed Exhibitions, which is the owning company. It falls within the luxury travel portfolio. So again, we try and lean on relationships we have with some of our other shows, that we can lean on relationships with travel advisors that have been to, for example, a luxury show. That isn't necessarily to say that IGTM has to be about luxury. There's definitely an element of luxury. We get some great properties, Rosewoods, five-star hotels, these sort of properties, right the way down to, I guess, your more sort of general pay and play golf courses and everything in between. Now, they're all still fantastic product. When I say pay and play, you're still talking 60, 70 euros a round kind of thing, or maybe dollars a round kind of thing. But so there's really, really high quality there, but there's a fantastic spread of things, because we know that the global golf market is huge and varied, and not everyone wants to play or can play the Turnberries or the St Andrews, but some of them might want to just play some more reasonably priced golf courses, I suppose, somewhere in southern Spain or Portugal or something like that. Where I think
Now,
we've got the growth from the North American market, the North American market this year, largely probably has to do with just the market itself. I think there was some National Golf Foundation statistics that 12 million American adults
right.
are looking to play golf with at least one overnight stay in the year of 2024. That's, I think, 12.2 million, I think, is the highest. And I think
Right.
it's 12.1 million predicted for 2024.
And
So
this is up from 8 million in 2018, just to show the spike or the streak or the angle of increase.
Yeah, and I think that there's a lot of pent up demand on the back of COVID, coming out of COVID. People are now looking to get back out and play golf, and golf is in a really good space now that's booming, I suppose, in the sense that we can try and learn off the back of that and ride on that wave and try and show global golf tourism can bring.
So, is there any talk about having two shows or moving the show to North America just because you were saying that challenge? Why? What are you thinking about there?
At the moment, it's probably not right on the next sort of 12 months. It's definitely something we'd never say never. A majority of our core audience is European, so that's about 70% of our exhibitor audience is European. So again, what we
Oh,
need
okay.
to consider is if we
So
were going
you're
to move
saying
it to
that
somewhere else.
The North American numbers are rising, but they don't compare to the European numbers. Got it.
At the moment, yeah, exactly that. So we've got 50 over 50 North American buyers coming to the show in 2024, up from 27 last year. So again, some fantastic growth from our buyer team have worked really hard to bring that. But still, over 200 of the buyers at least are
Got
European.
it.
So it's still not the biggest, but of course that's not to say we wouldn't ever move it to the US, but it's just something we need to consider. I think
No,
one
no,
thing
and
we tie in quite nicely with is one of our other shows within a portfolio of Reed exhibitions is the PGA show. That's run by our office in the US, and of course we can work with them there and tie in with it there and try and meet some more of the buyers to then bring them hopefully to do both shows, as it were.
all right, well, let's get you some more North American buyers. Let's talk about this. So, a travel advisor is considered that, and they need to be vetted, as we discussed. So, let's talk about the vetting, and let's talk about the fact that your event is in 3 months. They can still get to go, or they can start planning for next year. So, let's just talk about that, please.
Yeah, correct. So as I say, the event is in October, so there's still plenty of time. The vetting process can be really simple. It's just a case of we have some very basic questions, I guess, to ask people to begin with, just about if they are the right person within their organization that is looking to place business and contract business as such. So with golf courses and golf resorts all around the world, if they have that purchasing power, that's obviously fantastic. They're the sort of people that the exhibitors are wanting to see. The process from there really is more about finding references where you've placed business for golf travel in the last 6 to 12 months, preferably somewhere in one or two different continents. And it's really someone that's looking to try and open their eyes to a bigger network of golf tourism because we, like I said, we have 45 countries represented as China, Australia, New Zealand, all the way through Europe, Africa, across the to US, to South America, to Argentina, so and everything in between. So there's huge amounts of product, and as long as people are looking to try and grow their network and send their travelers to somewhere in these destinations to play golf, then I think it's something that is a really important event to be at. Not only that, I think there's if you aren't necessarily booking your golf for your clients, I think what's key is to come and understand. I think golf generally has this kind of idea that you have to be an expert at it. You have to play it. You have to know all the lingo, the jargon, everything like that. And really, the guys at the show, especially the exhibitors, they will make it as easy as they possibly can for any travel advisor that doesn't know everything about golf to just come and help them. Because if you're not having a conversation about booking golf travel for your clients and some of them very high net worth clients, someone else is, and therefore it's just revenue that you're
Leaving
allowing
on
to
the
go out the
table.
door. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly that. Yeah.
Now,
So.
the other thing about it is you're incentivizing the travel advisor to go. So if they are vetted, they get hosted.
Correct. Yeah. So we host them 4 nights as a minimum. What we expect in return for attending and hosting, I guess we'll offer to host your accommodation from the Monday through Friday. If you're going to play golf in the golf day, we have an IGTM official golf day on day one. So again, it's a great chance to network, a great chance to sort of get a nice icebreaker to the week and to experience what the host destination is like. Come and experience what golf is like in Lisbon.
And I
So
want
we'll host on the Sunday night too. So 4 or 5 nights. There'll be three, official networking functions throughout the week. So again, there's very little cost included from a travel advisor point of view to come over and just experience it and really grow their network. It's unlike any other show that they can manage to do that if it's something they're interested in.
if a travel advisor were to be able to attend, what kind of sellers would they meet?
So they'd meet a broad range of exhibitors, really. Primarily, about 70% of our audience is European. So you'll get the generic, sort of the typical Scotland, Ireland, England courses. So some real big names that people would probably already be aware of. Then you get things like Finca Cortesan, the Solheim Cup host from last year. You'll get Marco Simone, the Ryder Cup host from last year. So again, that's into Spain, into Italy, France, Germany.
Tell us some of the places that you wouldn't expect a golf course.
Yeah, so again, we get golfers from, or golf courses, exhibitors attending from places like Norway, for example. Anyone that's following any of the top 100 golf courses, certainly from a visual point of view, Lofoten Links, you can actually play golf 24 hours of the day in the summer because it's just this amazing, amazing piece of land. Honestly, if you haven't seen it, check it out. Lofoten
And the
Links.
sun doesn't set, so you can just
The sun
golf all.
doesn't set. You
Wow.
can indeed, and I think some of the big influencers have done some great work there. Some of the photographers, you can see the northern lights while you're playing golf. You know, it's superb. So, and they come to IGTM. You get then into Africa, for example, into Mauritius, into Northern Africa, so Egypt, Morocco, Southern Africa. Obviously, South Africa is huge for the game reserve and golf, and they're all in attendance this year. So again, the spread is fantastic, and I think that's the real key to IGTM. It's about bringing everyone who's anyone in golf tourism from all corners of the world all to the same place at the same time. It's an unmatched opportunity to really grow your network and grow your black book of people that you'd like to speak to and golf courses that you'd like to visit.
And so a travel advisor who's thinking in terms of territories only, right? And hasn't really opened up and looked up and seen the horizon of golf. They'll realize when they see these exhibitors that almost every package that they're selling, they can say, "Hey, by the way, do you golf?"
Correct. Yeah,
Okay.
100%. Because golf is huge everywhere, really, and if it's not already, it's getting bigger. So, again, following on from the trends and things, the global golf tourism market, depending on which reports you read, is going to be worth somewhere between 20 billion and 30 billion in the next 10 years. So, it's growing at a rate of about 7.6% each year, and again, that's fantastic news for all of us. I guess that's fantastic news for me, but it's great news for global traveling golfers. And you know, like you say, if you could just ask that question, do you golf when you go to Italy or Singapore or wherever it may be, because 99 times out of 100 you'll probably find that place has a golf course and some very nice ones, and fingers crossed most of them will be at IGTM.
And as the travel advisor looks at their contact list, they have to realize that the old stereotypes about golf, it's not an old man sport. It's a younger person and women's sport. Let's talk a little bit about the demographic shift.
Yes, I mean, we see it in our show completely. I mean, again, a lot of people probably think that the show is very male dominated, and it really isn't. I mean, there's plenty of people that work within the hotels or golf courses or resorts or whatever it may be. We've got a really good split of male, female, as you say, some younger, some older, and it's about that kind of next destination or that next generation of golfers that's coming through. You know, diversity and inclusion, women in golf, all of that is just huge in golf in general, I suppose. And that's something we're seeing as a trend following in tourism. And it's something we want to try and encourage. So again, it's about the next generation for the show, but also the next generation of golf and golf tourism. And I think when you start to look at things like sustainability, this is all going to play a major factor in the next 10, 15, 20 years about where people go and what people do and how they travel. And therefore that again is something we want to be at the spearhead of, I suppose. We want to make sure we're doing our bit to try and help that. And we have some educational content that one of the people that are coming for the educational content is actually about sustainability. So again, all of these things are really important to us and really important to the global golf tourism economy.
And I want to get the travel advisor to start thinking creatively about this because you can take a golf trip as a pre and post cruise possibility.
Yeah.
You can mix and match. I mean, I think there's more to this for the travel advisor to think about, and also in terms of money making group sales, taking incentive groups. Let's talk a little bit about that, please.
Yeah, so I mean, we have a few exhibitors that attend IGTM that are kind of more in keeping with things like cruises, or Rovos Rail as an exhibitor that comes from South Africa. That's almost a rail train provider, I suppose. That they have these fantastic. It's almost like the Orient Express, those sorts of things, and they have fantastic journeys through Africa and things, and stopping along the way and playing golf somewhere along the way. I mean, it doesn't have to just be your general kind of a group of guys going to play golf and they're playing 7 rounds in 7 days and things like that. There is so much more to it than that, and there is so much more to golf tourism and golf travel. and that's what we want to try and get across.
And you brought up South Africa, so here's the key. Let's make sure travel advisors realize that this is not about Scotland or Ireland. Let's talk about all the up and coming countries, please, where
Yeah,
golf
and I
is
think
becoming a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, Scotland and Ireland will both be obviously represented, as you'd imagine. And I think on that note, it's not just St Andrews and the high pinnacle golf courses, Port Rushes, things like that, the Adair Manors, for example. There's the next level of golf courses as well, which are still fantastic golf, very good value, and still some really great options to look at. Outside of that, then we've got people coming from New Zealand, where you've got some superb golf courses in New Zealand. It's actually a DMC that's coming that's going to almost sell the destination as a whole. But when you look at things like Cape Kidnappers and Tara Iti, Tiari, all these golf courses are absolutely superb. South Africa is, it's huge, and even in northern Africa, you're looking at Morocco, these sorts of places. There's so much golf and so much more than just your typical everyday.
You can actually golf in Egypt while looking at pyramids.
Correct. Yes, you can. And Egypt will be Egypt Tourism. They support the event very strongly, and they bring a lot of their sharers together. So you'll play golf courses looking at the pyramids, or you'll play it in the Red Sea at Soma Bay. There's lots and lots of diversity and different things that you can do whilst playing golf, and it can tie in very easily with. It might just be tagging a few rounds of golf on to a much bigger trip across Africa or Europe or into Scandinavia or whatever it may be. So, yeah, there's huge amounts of choice and there's huge amounts of interest. I think the key to keep coming back to, I suppose, for us is that just come and give it a go. Come and see what you can find, and you'll definitely find that even if you're not a golfer, even if you're not someone that knows all the lingo and knows exactly what to say. All of the exhibitors that come will hold your hand and take you through it to make sure you are well aware of what's going on.
They'll give you golf lessons.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely.
Golf selling lessons, I should
golf
say.
Selling lessons. Yeah, just simple things to ask. And I think it all just starts with asking your clients, do you book golf? Or if you don't know, ask them, do they play golf when they go abroad? Because as I say, if they're not booking it through you, they're booking it through somebody else. And I think the idea is just to come and grow your network, see what it's like. We host you for the week, and that's, there's limited cost in that sense. And you'll come away with a much bigger black book and a much bigger idea of what you can do and how you can do it.
So let's wrap up we're going out to 127,000 travel advisors daily. And let's tell them where they can get more information. And I assume that same address is where they can get vetted as well.
Exactly that. So all of it is on our website, www.igtmarket.com. So igtmarket.com. That's exactly where they need to go. You'll be able to just register to attend through either as an exhibitor or as a buyer. Of course, if you want to contact me and speak to me directly, I'm more than happy to answer any questions. And if it's not me personally, obviously, so we have some fantastic members of staff in the office. So we have a dedicated buyer team, a dedicated exhibitor sales team. We haven't really touched on media itself, but we have between 30 and 35 media representatives that attend every year. Again, that are just looking for what's new, what's next, what's the hottest talking point in golf, whether it be brand new golf courses opening in Vietnam at the moment. I think there's 50. I think they're the second country for the highest number of golf courses being built at the moment, behind the US, which is fantastic for the Asia Pacific region. It's fantastic for Vietnam. And it's fantastic to get more people out there, for example. So it's little things like that the media are coming to try and find out, and things that they'll try and fill column inches and stick into their podcasts and things. So yeah, it's going to be a fantastic show. But like I say, www.igtmarket.com is where you'll find all the information about this year's show in Lisbon.
Well, I wish you a lot of luck. I hope we actually help you get more buyers there, and we'll keep following this story because it's going to keep exploding. Thanks again.
Yeah. Our plan is to keep getting bigger. So, but only in the right way. So we want to make sure we get the right people from the right places and in the right venue.
And get a show in North America. Let's do that too.
Never say never. We're working on it.
All right. This is Alan Fine for Insider Travel Report.